Hello and welcome to a quick episode of the Dumb and Dumbest podcast with your friends Matt Bacon and my wonderful co-host Curtis Dewar.
Wonderful. You said wonderful for once. Wow.
I did say wonderful. This is a music industry podcast where everything is terrible and the house is on fire. And I have one question for you, Curtis, because I was just listening to Freddie King. Do you have the blues?
I don't have the blues.
How can you not have the blues?
Because I was listening to some peppy music earlier.
What were you listening to?
Well, I was listening to Avicii, apparently his name is, not Avicii like I was thinking his name was.
Avicii's great, but you don't have the blues. If you had the blues, I would like you more.
But you know what else I was listening to today that's also not blues oriented? I'm just going to put a plug here. Owlmaker just put out a new EP. Or not put out, but is putting out a new EP.
Yes.
Our good friend Jesse.
So what I wanted to talk about on this totally awesome, fun, extravaganza episode of Dumb and Dumbest is how having a deep understanding of musical history can actually grow your career.
It can.
So let's get jiggy with it, Curtis.
Okay, so we're going to talk. What are we going to talk about? Like Kiss, how getting Kiss gets us clients, or what are we going to talk about here?
I mean, basically, like I have gotten, like people don't believe me when I say like the fact that I know every Inside Out lyric has like defined a lot of my career up to this point. Obviously, I'm only 22, so there hasn't been that much career to define.
Yeah.
But like, that's not a joke, you know. People see. If you show that you have a deep understanding of the history of music, people see that passion.
They do.
And they want to work with passionate people. You want to work with passionate people. I want to work with passionate people.
Yeah.
There are people in music I work with who clearly do not like music very much, and it really bothers me. And I'm not trying to talk shit. Like, they're really cool people. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we get along super well, you know? But also, like, they're not sitting in their room freaking out over Freddie King like I am. And
I'm not, so does that make me unpassionate, Matt?
Curtis, you know I have an extremely low opinion of you, so
I do.
Point being,
that's why you bring me into everything. I know.
Yeah, exactly. I hate you. I just you're like the ugly friend.
Yeah, exactly. I make you look good, apparently.
Exactly. Point being, in your experience, Curtis, have you found that having a deep understanding of kind of music history and rock history has helped you with getting clients and getting relationships built?
Yes and no. It has in many cases. I don't know if I'd quite call it a deep understanding of the history, but I mean, I know enough. Like, for example, I have bonded with potential clients over Tori Amos, to be honest, just kind of a person to be bonding over. I think it's more, rather than just a deep understanding of the history, but maybe having a wider appreciation of different genres than just one at the same time.
Yeah.
Without being like a complete poser at the same time who's like totally into Tori Amos and just gets into metal just because everybody else thinks it's cool, because there's a big difference on that.
Yeah, and what we're talking about here is just like people, people like to work with passionate people, and there is, in music, there is no better way to show your passion.
Yep, I agree 100%. And also, it does increase your reality with another person, which gives you better communication with them, which then enables you to get them as a client or get them as a potential fan, right?
Yeah, and I think that's important. I think, like, especially if you're trying to work with like a promoter or something, and you find out you and the promoter both really like, I don't know,
Typo negative.
Sure. Then like you can use that as a jumping off point, you know, like
Matt loves typo negative.
You both like typo negative. So like
Matt really likes typo negative. Like, really likes them to the point where he wants all their albums to be like 10 minutes long.
Here's my stance on typo negative. And I said this in our Dorkscography group, which I'll link to in the episode notes, where basically we talk about, we go through a band's discography, and this actually ties in. We go through a band's discography one record at a time.
See how I did that, Matt?
Yes, I did. And that's really valuable because it teaches you about music history, right? But with Dorkscography, one of my big complaints about Typo Negative, whose discography we just covered, is that all their records, they were like part of that 90s thing
Yeah.
where like it was like, oh fuck, we can like do 70-minute long albums now because the format allows that. Except like nobody needs 70-minute long albums.
Except for Typo Negative, Bloody Kisses and October Rust would well, Bloody Kisses could have had the Kill All the White People and that other stupid song off of it, which they took off later. But
the Kill All the White People song is like one of the few good songs.
really, I thought it was totally out of place on the record, in my opinion. But and then We Hate Everyone, that was the other one. Those are the two songs that I thought seemed out of place and could have been removed.
But this is the type of conversation you can be having. Like I think that a lot of my clients will be like, oh, well, I think that, I should only be talking about business with these people. And that's not really, I don't want to, like, my favorite client right now is someone who, like, a couple of my favorite clients, actually, like the first 15, 20 minutes of our conversations will just be like talking about the Melvins.
But to put it in another perspective, you want to be very careful because you don't want to take it too far off business for too long, because otherwise you're going to be wasting your time, spending your whole time just talking about music and not ever getting any work done.
Yeah, but that being said, there's a lot of value to talking about music just because that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's sort of like what's fun for me and what I think is fun for a lot of other people. It's just, I want to play music or listen to music and talk about weird, like Reverend Bizarre, and that's important to me. And I think that's important to a lot of other people.
And Kiss.
And ABBA. And ABBA. And Jimmy Buffett, mostly Jimmy Buffett. If you come talk to me about Jimmy Buffett, I will give you so much free shit.
Matt is a nerd about Jimmy Buffett. All of us only know Margaritaville, and he went through the entire catalog on the Ripple music page. It was freaking insane.
Oh, yeah, because Steve Janiak was like being a dick, and I was like, oh, well, guess what? I'm going to tell you my favorite. Yeah, so anyway.
Here's my question. How the heck is Jimmy Buffett worth as much as he... Like, that guy is amazing, but literally no one but you knows anything outside of Margaritaville. It's insane.
Well, parrot heads are rich old white men.
It must be, because it makes no sense. I mean, I never even knew he did any other songs until I talked to you.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, all of his fans are like 50+ white men who are wealthy enough to go on Caribbean vacations.
It's insane. But anyways.
Yeah. So, that's why.
It's crazy.
Anyway, but this is how you build relationships, right? This is how you establish yourself so that other people give a shit. And I know it's weird and it's like, but we're like, it's really not predatory. Like, I am telling you, as someone who books shows and is a promoter and whatever the fuck, I am telling you right now, I like it when other people talk to me about the music I am a fan of.
He also likes people talking to him about Ty Lopez, Gary Vee, and Jordan Belfort.
Yes, because these are things I care about and I like.
And if you can talk about Jimmy Buffett and Jordan Belfort in the same sentence, Matt will probably be your best friend for life.
Sure. But like, this is what I'm saying is like, you need, if you are trying to like build a fucking shtick or whatever, you need to come out and, realize. I hear the wife. If you're trying to build a shtick, you need to find why people are interested in you, why people are going to care, what's going to get people, what's going to build relationships. And guess what? What's building fucking relationships is not, you constantly emailing them about business. Like, that's valuable, and it's important to be able to be like a dude who's with it, who's like replying to emails quickly and is a nice guy, don't get me wrong. But like, I'm just saying straight up, how do I like to be treated? How does Curtis like to be treated? Curtis is much happier talking about, a band he likes as the starting point to a conversation rather than being, dragged into what have you.
Yep.
Like Curtis and I are working fucking 14, 15 hours a day, like and I'm not bitching about that. Like I like working 14, 15 hours a day, but also like the people who make that day pass a little bit faster by emailing me about the MC5, like I don't know. That's all I'm trying to say.
You get 100 people now just going, "Hey man, I like blah band. Do you like blah band?" That's gonna be funny.
And I'll be like, yes, I probably do like that band. Or I'll say something mean to you and tell you have bad taste.
Then you're gonna be like, "Hey, do you want any Instagram hashtags?"
It's the beginning of my sales funnel.
There you go. Boom. Anyways, let's wrap this up, Matt. My food just arrived.
Your food just arrived.
Yeah.
What do you have to plug, Curtis, as we towards the end?
Today, I like plugging the bands I'm working with right now.
Coming out tomorrow.
Well, oh yeah. But today, a Brazilian death metal band called, I think you pronounce it Pia Mater, had a premiere at Antihero. They're kind of like Opeth. If you like Opeth, check it out. If you don't like Opeth, okay, just don't check it out. And then tomorrow we got Olton also premiering at Antihero, which is kind of like a sludgy post-metal type thing. And you should check out both those premieres. Ivan from Antihero was the writer on both of them. He's awesome. Going to give him a plug. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, awesome. And otherwise we have, so if you want a free hashtag list, that was not a joke, please do hit me up. I will give you a free hashtag list. It'll be good. It'll be fun. We'll party. Maybe I can hook you up with some other good stuff too. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. This has been another episode.
Are we done?
We're not done. I'm going to go listen to Freddie King.
I want to go eat.